Okay. Determine if the three sides form a triangle, part 1, and then part 2, if they do, classify them as acute, right, or obtuse. All right, to determine if they form a triangle, I have to add any two sides together and see if it's greater than the third side. So what do I mean? I have to do 2 plus 7, is that greater than 6? Is 7 plus 6 greater than 2? Is 2 plus 6 greater than 7? All those are true, so I can do this problem. Now, our biggest number is 7. So 7, some people do a little question mark here, is my C. So I do 4 plus 36. Does that equal 49? 4 plus 36 is 40, which is less than 49. So I have an obtuse triangle. Next one. Test to see if it is a triangle. Is 1 plus 2 greater than 4? No, it's not. So I just stop my work there. Not a triangle. All right, let's try a third one. Part C. 4 plus 5 is greater than 6. 6 plus 5 is greater than 4. 6 plus 4 is greater than 5, and so on and so forth. So here we go. The 6 is my C. It is my largest number. 16 plus 25 equals 36. 41 is greater than 36, so this triangle is acute. All right. Problem number 14 brings back our quadrilaterals. Quadrilaterals. So we have a square. With a diagonal of 14. Okay. Find the perimeter. Well, in a square, we have a 45, 45, 90 triangle. And in our 45, 45, 90, these two sides are x, and this is my hypotenuse is x root 2. So x root 2, is 14. So I have to figure out what did I multiply by root 2 to get 14. Some people do the part in your head, all right, and that's totally fine. But if not, let's do the math here. Divide both sides by root 2. I get x equals 14 over root 2. Then rationalize. Root 2 times root 2. X equals 14 root 2 over 2. Remember, root 2 times root 2 is root 4, and the square root of 4 is 2. So that's 7 root 2. So each of my sides has a length of 7 root 2, and all four sides are the same. So to find the perimeter, I do 4 times 7 root 2. And remember, I only multiply the 4 by 7, not by the root 2, and I get 28 centimeters. Okay. Equilateral triangle has a perimeter of 30 root 3. Find the altitude. So there's the altitude. If it's 30 root 3 for the perimeter, that means each side is 10 root 3. That means this piece right here is 5 root 3. Find the altitude. Well, since this is an equilateral triangle, that makes this angle 60. Equilateral means equal angular. That also makes this one 60 here. And split in half, that makes this angle 30. So we have a little 30, 60, 90 triangle. Across from 30 is x. Across from my hypotenuse is 2x. And my altitude in this problem is x root 3, because that is across from my 60-degree side. So I can call this side y. That's what I'm trying to find. So y is equal to x root 3. Well, in this case, my x is 5 root 3. So I do 5 root 3 times root 3, which is 5 root 9, which is 5 times 3. So y equals 15. You don't necessarily have to show all of this work if you don't want to. If you're able to skip the part, that's totally fine. I'm just showing where it comes from, all right? Okay, rhombus. Rhombus is a nice shape. It's beautiful. Okay, why is it nice? Because all four sides are the same. If my perimeter is 104, okay, that means every side, I do 104 divided by 4, every side has a length of 26. If one diagonal is 48, well, my diagonals bisect each other. So if it's 48, that makes this 24 and this 24. If you flipped it, that's fine. Don't worry about it. And this is X and this is X. Remember, in a rhombus, we have 4 right angles right here. Well, what type of shape did I just highlight? It's a right triangle. Okay, I highlighted a right triangle. All right, in a right triangle, I have 2 sides of my right triangle. I want to find the third side. There is nothing to do with angles. I don't know anything about the angles. All right, meaning I don't know if it's a 36, 90, a 45, 45, 90. Since I have 2 sides, I can just say, all right, I can use the Pythagorean theorem where this is my C. The 26 is my C. So I'd set it up like that. X squared plus 24 squared equals C squared, or 26 squared. X squared plus 576 equals 676. X squared equals 100, and then take the square root of both sides. So X is 10. But X is 10, so but your answer is not 10. Remember, to find the other diagonal, I have to multiply it by 2 to get 20. Okay, common mistake. All right, 17. 17, here we go. So, find the perimeter of the isosceles trapezoid. So if it's an isosceles trapezoid, both of these are 13. Okay, also, I can drop another altitude here. And if this is 20 here, I know that this is 20 down here. This should be a 13. I don't know what this piece is there. So I can call that my X. Well, look. Right there. There is a right triangle. So if I got a right triangle, I have 2 sides of my right triangle. I want to find the third side. Guess what I'm going to use? You guessed right. I'm going to use a Pythagorean theorem. With the 13 is my C. Look at X squared equals 25. Square root, X equals 5. Am I done? No. I know that this is 5 and this is 5. And I want to find the perimeter. Okay, so a common mistake here. I'm going to talk about some common mistakes. To find the perimeter, first of all right, to find the perimeter, I add up all the sides. I add the outside of the shape. Okay, the outside of the shape is this. That's the exterior. Okay, I do not include the 12 in my perimeter. The 12 is there to help me find 5. So to find the perimeter, I do 13 plus 20 plus 13 plus 5 plus 20 plus 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers. Don't include the 12. That's a common mistake. A lot of people include the 12. All right, don't make that mistake. That should be centimeters. Don't make that mistake on your test. Don't make a mistake. Don't make that mistake. Don't make that mistake. All right. Okay, we're almost done. Last problem. Here we go. Rectangle. So draw a rectangle. Throw in a diagonal. It says the base is 24, so there's 24. That's a right angle. So that's 24. The perimeter is 62. So if the perimeter is 62, well, these two sides are going to be the same in a rectangle. I do 62 minus 48, and I get 14. Divided by 2 gives me 7. Find the diagonal, that's my x. Guess what I have here? A right triangle. Do you know what either of these angles are here? No. So I cannot use a 30, 60, 90 or a 45, 45, 90. The only shapes we will do that for, unless it tells you, are the square and the equilateral triangle. Unless I were to tell you that one of the angles is 60, then you could use it. But not in a rectangle. So I use the Pythagorean theorem. X is my hypotenuse, that's my C. So I go 7 squared plus 24 squared equals x squared. And this should be a nice number. 49 plus 576 equals x squared. X squared equals 625. X equals 25 centimeters. All right, that's it for me. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask.